Now, as I've been flirting with you guys all day, I've got Mr. Darrell Durham from Goddamn Repaid in Blood on the phone. My friend, Darrell, how are you, sir?
Doing awesome, man. How you doing, man? It's been a long time.
Dude, it's so fucking good to talk to you right now, man, because it has been quite a long time. Last time we got to talk, like, face-to-face and hang out and have some beers, I believe, was when you guys were on tour with Short Fuse. You guys came through, played the Blues Bar. Mm-hmm. We had a fucking blast. We went and did some beers and bong rips and did a little interview on the side of the venue there, and we had a fucking good time. But, God, it seems like forever ago already.
Yeah, man, it is. What's that been, like, 3 years ago now, man? I mean, yeah, it's all a blur, man, since this pandemic and everything these days. So, it's good to hear your voice, man, and touch, with our metal family again, man, touch base, and let them know what's all going on, and stuff with this release coming up. So we're excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. And I miss your fucking face, dude. And I miss seeing you guys on stage. Repaid in Blood, for all the listeners, is an extremely intense, energetic fucking band to see live. As good as your fucking music is, it doesn't do it justice on album. You have to see Repaid in Blood live on stage. But so you guys have brand new music coming out, and we're going to get right into it. Reflective Duality is due out next week, January 21st. You guys are dropping, you're self-releasing it. Dude, tell us everything about this album, because it's a little out of left field for what Repaid in Blood normally does.
Yeah, I mean, Reflective Duality, I mean, it's something that we talked about, before with the band. I mean, we usually tend to take a little more of the nerdier themes and side of things, and a little more lightheartedly and jokingly. We're kind of like kind of the Anthrax of our generation, kind of a little bit, if you will, but a little heavier. But I mean, the writing process of this just kind of developed in what it was, and then it's just kind of coincidentally worked out that it's, I think, as we've been calling it, it's going to be the perfect soundtrack, like leading into 2021. We've talked before that, it's going to be that exhale that everybody needs, I think, when they hear this album. So,
yeah, because you guys were actually trying to release it just a few months ago, and it just happened to work out that, January was a better release date. But I think it's perfect for the band because, like you just mentioned, brand new year, fucking shit just went down and got hectic in DC, and like everybody's waiting to fucking breathe in and exhale all yoga style, and I think Reflective Duality is the perfect soundtrack for your breathing exercises.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, speaking of the what went down at the Capitol, I mean, when we chose the artwork for the cover of Reflective, I mean, the day that went down, Jake's like texting me and I'm like, dude, like the album cover, this is kind of surreal, and then I'm like, I know, right? It's like, it's a sign, I guess, we're on the same page with everybody and kind of feeling that energy of kind of, the nation and everything. And we're reflecting that in this album and the music for sure.
Yeah. And it is funny because the album artwork is perfect. Not only because of the title and the way that you guys like mirrored it off the water there at the monument in DC, but just, the carnage going on behind the monument. The thing looks like it's getting ready to fall. It almost looks like the Eye of Sauron.
Right, for sure. I mean, that's what we're going for. Because, at the time of writing the album, I mean, with with everything going on politically, it's like this, this could be a possibility, with things. So it's like, to see what happened at the Capitol is kind of brings it more into reality. And it's like, wow, it's like, it's just kind of funny when you're writing an album and a message that you're trying to, bring people's attention to and kind of cool the waters, maybe, if you will, something to make you think about. But, yeah, it was kind of interesting for us in the artwork and how we picked that out and what went down. So
who did the artwork?
Yeah. I can't remember the artist right offhand. He's based out of California and stuff. I mean, I know on our socials and stuff, I mean, Jake has been tagging him on that, in his artwork. He does, a lot of stuff, a lot of other bands and stuff. I mean, this is the first time I think he's done something for Repaid. So, I mean, yeah, check out our socials and stuff and you find out that information on him. I'm sorry, I don't have that right offhand, you're short-hand live.
Well, I'm doing my job as an interviewer by having all the information handy, so. I'm like, these are the homies, dude. I don't have to do too much research. Sorry, I know the band. No, it's all good. It's not your fault. Probably one of Jake's homies. Like you said, I was out in California, which leads me to my next question. I mean, the band has always been split up. 2 of you are in Wisconsin, 2 of you are in California. When it comes to the writing process, how do you guys get together on that? Obviously, Zoom or Skype or phone calls, but, it seems so. I don't know how to put it. It seems like it's kind of a chore when you are that far away. You know, being a distant band like that. How'd you guys work all that out?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has its, humps in the road, trying to get that done, especially with, the pandemic, stuff going on. But we got the majority of the recording and stuff done before, pandemic era and everybody locked down. Got the meat and potatoes of it recorded. So it's like we go by our same formula that's usually, Juan and Jake, they'll kind of crank out a demo to me, and then I just get fleshing out like vocals and stuff to it. And then I re-record the demo, kind of shoot it back out to Jake, and then if we like what we hear and it sounds good, we kind of fine tune it there. Then I fly out to California and just rip through the vocals. I mean, this album we laid the vocals in like one day, done. So
nice. And that's something else that I want to ask you about. Like you always fly out. You go out, you do all the studio work out in California. There's plenty of studios in your area. Why do you prefer to go hang out with the band besides, personal hangout, beer drinking reasons? Why fly all the way out when there are other studios that you could pretty much do the same thing in?
Well, Eric Hill out in Blue Room Studios, shout out to you, brother. I mean, amazing job on this. He also engineered and produced Reflective. I mean, he has a history of working with Repaid even before I joined the band and everything. So they kind of have that, that mojo and that camaraderie and stuff. So, of course, I love going out to California, and to visit and stuff. I mean, here in Wisconsin, things in particular aren't legal, so I can't smoke out here, and stuff. So getting out there, it's kind of like I can break a little more free and have a little more fun, get some sunshine. I actually went out there in February to record the vocals, so it was very nice to get away from freezing my ass off out to, the West Coast. So never argue about that. If we're playing, I just miss it.
Whereabouts are they in California? Because I know it started in Sunnyvale, which is like Central California, but are they still close to that area?
Yeah, close to that area. I mean, essentially the band is, based out of San Jose. So, the guys are in the San Jose area and Sunnyvale. And Jeff, he's a little more up north towards the city in San Francisco. So all those guys there in the Bay Area that, kind of run the shop there. And then Patrick and I are back home here in Wisconsin.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got the BART, so which is for the listeners is a rail system that runs from like San Jose to the Bay Area, San Francisco, Oakland area. So, I mean, no, that's fucking rad, dude. And like you said, you get to get the fuck out. I'm gonna ask, dude, how are the dispensaries in Cali? Because you got to go visit one.
They're awesome, man. I mean, actually, I have a few favorite. I mean, the Green Cross has always been one of my favorites. I mean, it's one of the oldest ones in San Francisco. There, I mean, and I got Airfield Supply is like right outside the airport. As soon as you get off the plane in San Jose, it's just right across the street. Great shop. Real professional about it and stuff. So, yeah, they're excellent, man. It's nice to get out there and be in a place where people, are very knowledgeable and stuff. And, I can discuss like, hey, I'm touring. I need this for sleeping, this for, maybe to keep me stimulated and whatnot and stuff. So it's pretty awesome. And I definitely love it.
It's a lot of fun because, I'm from SoCal myself. And whenever I go back to visit family from Arizona, I'm like, I got to stop. Even if I like have weed at home or something, I'm like, I got to stop, dude, just because it's novel, dude. And they just passed it here in Arizona. So we'll have that freedom here real soon. But
nice.
You got to stop in and be like, so this is what I suffer from and this is what I like to enjoy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's kind of nice, like in cities like in Madison here. I mean, they pretty much decriminalized like an ounce or below. So pretty much, as long as I have permission from my landlord, I can sit in my backyard, smoke a joint, and it's cool. So, I mean, Wisconsin's getting there, but I mean, we'll see.
But you still got to go through the black market to get it.
Yeah. That's the unfortunate thing about it. And that's the advantage of the dispensaries, you know what you're getting and whatnot,
Well, we digress. I just had to enjoy that. But back to Reflective Duality. Now, in the past, like you've said, you guys have been like fun, comedic, a little parody in some points. I mean, you guys have the best Christmas song that I play every fucking year, and that's I Saw Zombies Eating Santa Claus. And it gets played every fucking December. Sometimes I throw it in July for Christmas in July, just so I have a stupid reason to play it because I love that fucking song. But you guys took a much more serious approach to this album, and I know why, but I'd like to have you explain to listeners, why you went from a little comedic tech death to kind of, I mean, this album's pretty brutal, dude. It's very chunky. I was turned on. My nipples got hard. So explain to the listeners why you guys took a little bit of a different route.
I don't know. I mean, it's just for me personally, I was kind of going through kind of a transition, a dark period of, dark soul of my night, I guess, if you will. I mean, I was kind of in between a job that I'd been at for a while and just, I don't know, just all the noise, and riffraff of the world here lately. I mean, all the police shootings and, all these issues that just got really depressing. It's been kind of depressing the past couple of years and stuff. I mean, and it's just, from communicating with friends and family and stuff, and seeing these divisions and stuff that happen. So, I mean, I think myself and a lot of people focus on those subjects a lot, daily, and a lot more so now that we have time to, sit on our hands at home, pandemic and stuff. So,
well, even before the pandemic, I mean, shit was
even
pretty bad.
Yeah. So it's like, that came out. I mean, we definitely have a lot of nerdy themes. We still, you'll see a lot of Easter eggs or hear a lot of Easter eggs, like Star Wars themed kind of stuff and overtones. But I mean, like a couple of the videos that we've released already, it was just, right away, in your face up front, that we're the resistance, and just really fighting for love and what's right. I mean, that's just the message, we want to get out to people, that we're all equal, and it's just, we're metal as family and all this stuff. Don't let this political stuff divide us and cloud your, who you are and stuff. I mean, so yeah, it reflected the music and, and there's a lot of passings of people, of heroes, Stanley, we lost Stanley, with that, he was a huge influence to me. So,
I'm a big MCU nerd, so yeah.
So we have a song about that touches on that, everything from that, we still, stick to our nerdy roots. I mean, we have Molotov Circumcision, which, is our Godzilla tribute, we still, stick to our geek roots to that. So we're really proud of that. We had a really great reception to that song since we've, released that video out. So, more of that to come with the rest of this album. So you have to stay tuned until next week to find out what the rest of it sounds like.
Hell yeah. Well, I got a couple good songs. I got that one lined up, and I also got a Rebel Scum. Both of these now feature some guest appearances, and you guys have a lot of guest appearances on this album, which is really cool. People from Threat Signal, Legion, Born of Osiris. Tell us a little bit about how you guys procured and locked down some of these guest appearances.
Well, that goes way back to like Jeff and I, way back in our Metal Illuminati days, way back in 2010 and stuff when I was living out west, and it's just kind of these contacts that we had with these bands when I was running, the podcast for that and everything. So it's, we really wanted this album to stand out and whatnot. And so it's like with the, the opportunity in the recording process, finishing up, the pandemic going on. I mean, these guys had nothing to do, either, so it's kind of like we reached out to them and, to see if they were interested in joining us, and putting this project together. And, it just went from there. So we just kind of reached out to Travis, John, and Greg and those guys, and they were very happy to get on board and do this project with us. So we were definitely stoked because, these are some pretty big names. So I'm definitely like, I'm pretty wild by that too. And they did, excellent work on this project. It's just mind blowing, the guitar works and the vocals, the guest vocals with me. So I'm very happy about that and very pleased. So thank you guys, if you're listening.
Yeah. Cause I'm awesome. A big fan of Greg Burgess myself, dude. Like he's a powerhouse and I love everything that he does.
Dude is a shredder. He's just a beast. And, it's just amazing what he did, Molotov there. I mean, I'm really digging the nuclear power trio that, that he did in that project. So
nice. Dude. Yeah. I was so happy when I got the PR campaign for it and I was like, whoa, they're going big, dude.
Yeah. But that's a good way of putting it. We're going fucking big this fucking time with this release. Man.
You really are, man. I we were talking off air a little bit and I'm like, fucking this album is devastating, bro. Like I was expecting it, and not to take away from previous releases from the band, but I was expecting, some amazing guitar. The music's always there, but that parody kind of quirky comedy to the lyrics and, the theme of the music, it just, I love it. This one we call Bitey. Come on now. Every time you play that song live, you get so into it. I feel like that's one of your favorite songs to play live as a fan.
Yeah, for sure.
But dude, it's such a relief to see you guys change it up a little bit. I also think that depression and bad times bring some of the best music to the industry. And I'm glad that you guys are kind of reflecting on that and still keeping it light and throwing out tributes like you talked about with Stanley and all that. So,
yeah.
But yeah, dude, fucking amazing album. So what are the plans? Like, it's hard to say, do you guys plan on touring? Because nobody knows. But as far as the band goes, let's say, come March, everybody's like, okay, we're all COVID free. We've killed the disease. Everything's open again. Are you guys like ready to jump on and start supporting this album? Or, what are the plans for as soon as we're all fixed?
I mean, we're just kind of like everybody else, in the music industry. We're just kind of playing it by ear, just seeing what works for us and everything. I mean, because we're not touring, we focused a lot more on PR and really doing a lot of PR for this album. So it's just, we'll see how that goes with that. I mean, for sure, if we could hit the stage, tomorrow, we would fucking be on it, man. Just give us the call on the horn. I mean, I know we're all itching to play live again, for sure. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's possible, with anything. It's just really, it's just like the waiting game now. We're ready to go if it's time to be go time and live again. I mean, we've even tossed out ideas, that, the trends these days is maybe doing some kind of maybe a live stream or something, but we haven't got too deep in the logistics of that. We're just focused on kind of getting the release out first, and then, we'll see where things go from there,
Yeah. And, a few weeks ago, I was talking with Mr. David Greger from Morta Scald up in your area. And,
right.
And he brought up a pretty valid point that astonishingly didn't cross my mind, but the flooding of tours that like everybody's itching. We're all chomping at the bit to go to live shows. All the bands are waiting to get the fuck out of town and go tour. And are you guys a little bit worried that you might not be able to pick up a tour, or that a lot of dates might already be filled once you guys are ready to go support this album?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's great that everybody's going to be, at that moment, there's going to be a lot of tours going on, but there might be a lot of more opportunities for festival type things to happen. I'm thinking, it depends on, what crowds are allowed and whatnot. And I mean, we were already targeting Europe before, with our last EP release. So we still have that on our radar and, would like to get overseas, sometime at some point. I mean, that's something, we're looking at really hard. I mean, so that's where our focus is. I mean, probably more likely if we were able to like play something, the soonest, we'd probably do something exclusively out West, maybe to do a couple of shows out West to kind of feel it out and see how things are. But if, if we're full run and we could tour and hit the road again, I mean, if anybody wants to, give us a venue to play or a basement or whatever, we'll fuck it up for you, man. We'll get out and tear it up and put on the show. Make sure everybody has a good time.
Right. Well, it's funny because I was talking earlier on there. Sorry about the background noise, everybody. Fucking goddamn landscapers. Speaking of working from home, but the last couple times I've seen you guys have played some great venues that we have out here. But dude, I'm ready to see Repaid and Blood on a bigger stage, and I'm not talking arena rock venues or anything, but I'd like to see you play on the same stages that you deserve to play on with some of your peers, like bigger bands like Cannibal Corpse and Deicide and shit like that. I want to see you out here on Club Red. Last time we saw you at the Blues Bar, which is a great venue, but it's a bar venue, and it's time for you guys to break out and get behind some serious sound systems, because the musicianship and your vocals behind your live show are immense. Jake is an amazing fucking guitarist, Patrick on bass, Juan on drums, and just you on the vocals, man. You guys deserve to have that sound behind you, dude. And next time you come to Arizona, you got to play on a big stage, dude.
Yeah. Well, we're hoping for that, man. And like you're saying, we're seeing what happens once, touring gets fired up. I mean, we're expecting big things from this release, and so, we're hoping that, we can cause a ripple in the pond here, and open up some doors to some opportunities for us to play some stages like that. I mean, obviously it would be an honor to always play for your heroes like that. So, anytime Cannibal Corpse or anybody or Black Dahlia wants us to open up for them or anything, we're waiting, Mr. Bungle.
Hit us up, Mr. Bungle. You'll have to pull out all the parody songs for that tour.
Right, for sure.
Now, you guys are sticking with the DIY thing. Self-releasing this album. You guys haven't been labeled. When the writing process and the studio process was finished and you guys were sending everything out to mix and mastering, did you entertain the idea of label hunting at all, or were you guys pretty dead set on doing this on your own? Big shout out to Clawhammer PR, by the way, because you brought up PR earlier, and they've been doing an amazing job at pushing your album to all the media sites and what have you, including myself. So, but yeah, what do you guys think about label backing at this point?
I mean, we're open to that for sure. I mean, if we feel like there's a label that's the right fit for us, and it seems like they're going to help us, to get to where we need to be as a band, I mean, that's always something we haven't ruled out. I mean, we've definitely been, do it yourself for sure. And we went really far and had a lot of success with that. But we just had to see where things go. I mean, for sure. I mean, that would definitely opening opportunities for us for bigger festivals and those big stages that you're talking about. I mean, that's where we're wanting going forward. We're continuing to grow and strive towards that goal and growing as artists and taking those bigger stages. So for sure, man, we want to fuck shit up. So I mean, holler at us after this release if everybody's feeling us. So I mean, we're ready to get back and get to it.
Yeah, unique leader.
Dude, I'm such a social butterfly, man. So this has been hard, staying at home and not having a crowd. I mean, I think a lot of musicians can relate to that. This is just some odd fucking times for you when you're just like go go go, and then all of a sudden, the world just stops. But
yeah, you can only smoke so much pot and watch so much porn at home before you want to hit the stage again, right?
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, the show must go on. I mean, the music goes on, regardless. So I'm happy for that we're, able to stay focused on that. That helps us get through these times as well, in the writing process.
Absolutely. Well, dude, I know that you're busy today, and I just want to say that I truly appreciate you reaching out and connecting and doing this interview and taking time out of your day, man. I gotta say, you are one of my favorite frontmen vocalists because you have such a sweaty, good, hardcore metal time on stage, dude. I love people like you, frontmen like you that put it all out there, and you're almost like a fan that jumped up on stage and stole the mic from the singer, and nobody fucking said anything about it, and now you're in the band because, dude, you put it all out there, man, and you're so entertaining to watch, along with the other guys. Don't get me wrong, Jake. Don't get me wrong, Patrick. But yeah, dude. You are the perfect front man for this band because, I mean, Jake stands there and does his fucking badass guitar wankery and fucking the guys just flow and you own the stage, dude. And I miss seeing you guys so much live on stage. I can't emphasize that enough.
Wow, man. I mean, thank you for that, man. It's like, yeah, we can't wait to get out there and, bring that to everybody again and, that excitement and fun again. I mean, we're looking forward to it. For sure, brother. And it's been too long.
It's been way too long. Now, before I let you go, tell us, it comes out Wednesday, right? January 21st? Is that Wednesday?
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Now, where can everybody go to get the brand new merch, get the brand new album, get the brand new high fives from the band?
Well, for now, it's just going to be media release. So it's going to be on like all your, media streaming services stuff there, Bandcamp, iTunes, whatnot. I mean, so we're going with a digital release with this one. And, I mean, that could possibly change in the future, but, we'll see how this thing does.
It's hard to invest money behind physical copies at this time right now when, you can't even go out and support the tour. You don't have anything in your pocket to hand
Right.
So that makes sense. And I think that's very smart business wise for the band. So Spotify, but you guys do have your Bandcamp. Mm-hmm. And you have all your social media pages. You want to go ahead and promote those real quick?
Yeah, sure, man. I mean, it's like we're like on Instagram. Twitter is where we interact the most. And we have a thing going on with Twitter. If you actually are caught sharing our material or music and give us shout outs or whatnot, you might be getting contacted by Jake or one of us and then getting your address. And then we tend to send out like little swag care packages, stickers and whatnot and personalized letters just to say thank you. I mean, we love our fans. So, spread the word, my nerds.
Fucking rad, dude. Right on. Darrell, it's always such a pleasure. I can't wait to fucking shake your hand, give you a hug and drink a beer with you next time you come through town, dude. And hopefully that's this fucking year.
You're right, man. You have no idea, Walter, man. Miss you too, brother.
Right on. Well, hey, dude, I got Rebel Scum and Molotov Circumcision coming up next. Then I got some Casket Robbery and some Short Fuse and In Death for you guys. So, Darrell, thank you as always. Tell the rest of the band we say what's up here at That Metal Station. And I got to get Jake on because all my guitar nerd friends are like, so what kind of fucking... what kind of gear does he use? And I'm like, I don't think Darrell's going to answer that for me. So
yeah, you'd have to ask those guys about that stuff. I just handle the vocal, duties.
Yeah, I think Darrell uses a Shure SM78. But hey, brother, it's been great talking to you. I'm going to let you get back to your day. Thank you so much for being on the show, man.
You're welcome, man. Till next time, man. Take care.